We just finished lunch and I was walking back into the yoga room. Here I was on this day of the training. I knew this room because we've been in it for several days now. But this time, this lunch break was different. I just had this feeling that something was going to happen and I'm going to be pulled up or called up. I walked into the room and it was an unfamiliar setting. There was about 9 mats set up in the middle of this room, a large room which could fit 150 people because that was the size of the training. And I thought, well, whatever it is, I'm one of 150, so surely it's probably not going to be me today. But I just had this feeling in my gut, like I'm going to be called up today for whatever this thing is. As the session started, the exercise was 3 people will get to come up and teach and get feedback from my teacher Baron at that time. We were in Hawaii, in the beautiful setting of Hawaii, and as he was explaining the exercise, he said, well, there's a bag full of names and we'll choose 3 names and these people will get the opportunity to come up. And I thought, phew, I'm safe. They're not going to call my name, surely. So the bag got passed around and then he said, stop. And that person was to put their hand into the bag and pull out a name. And I thought, I should be okay. This will be fine. They pulled out the first name, unfolded the piece of paper and read, Dylan Ayaloo. And I had this moment of, that was my name. I got mic'd up and I thought, how bad could this be really? I've been practicing my teaching for the last few days. I feel good. I can do this. So he goes, start. Within 30 seconds, he said, stop. And I looked at him and thought, what's wrong? What needs to be different? He says, louder. Go again. And I started teaching. And he says, stop. Much louder this time. And I was like, what is it? I said, louder. I said, okay, I can do that. He said, start again. So I started teaching. And within seconds, he said, stop. Take the mic off. Sit down. And I'm making him sound bad that Baron's awesome. I've spent many years with him. And that day, I learned something just in that moment without him saying anything more. It was for me to go back and work on my voice, on being heard, on being seen, on my presence. So in the coming months after I left the training, when I finished in Hawaii and got back to London, here in Clapham Common where I was teaching my classes, I worked on it. I worked on my voice projection. I worked on bringing my voice out from the center of my belly. It's where you should be speaking from because that's our power center. And as I worked on it, it allowed me to not have to shout, but command the presence in a room, no matter the size. Whether it was an 8-person class at the beginnings, or if I was standing in front of 300 or 400 person crowd, and even though I was mic'd up, I was projecting my energy into the room. These are some of the things that most yoga teachers miss out on. And these are some of the things that I teach my students. It gives you the edge as a yoga teacher. And even if you're not wanting to teach, being seen and being heard is one of our biggest fears as human beings. We don't want to be seen. We don't want to be heard because we don't want to be responsible for what we say, our message that we've got, the gift that we've got. So if you're not allowing yourself to be seen or to be heard, then the world misses out on your gift. It misses out on you. And what a shame that would be. Wouldn't you say it's important, it's priority for you to work on yourself to remove whatever is in the way so that you can allow yourself to be seen? Did you know that public speaking is one of the things people fear more than spiders and snakes? And more than public speaking, I would say, and this is not based on any statistics, I'd say more than public speaking, people fear teaching yoga, or at least the way I teach my students to teach yoga. Because I believe that teaching yoga means you have to allow yourself to be seen. It's easy to see others, but it takes a lot to bring your walls down and let yourself be seen. This is one of the core things that we work on in our training in the Inspire program. And if it's interesting to you, whether you want to be a yoga teacher or not, just like some of my students who were doing presentation in front of hundreds of people, but the difference between a presentation or a speech or a talk, like public speaking, to teaching yoga, is that in yoga, I would say yoga demands that you allow yourself to be seen. Because if people can't see you as a human being and they can't relate with you, then there is no connection. And if there is no connection, as my teachers would say, your students will vote with their feet, as in they will leave and not come back. So whether you're wanting to do a training because you'd like to become a yoga teacher, or simply take some of these tools back into your life, as you might have heard from some of the testimonials, a lot of my students call it confidence and leaving the program with more confidence. Confidence is a byproduct of knowing yourself, and knowing yourself is not an end destination, it's the journey. Knowing yourself is uncovering facets and dimensions of you, letting that go so that you can come into contact with the truth of who you are and allow yourself to express that unfiltered. Being seen is the key, is your superpower to being effective, to presence, so that you can share your gift of being present. If you feel called to come join me and our groups in the Inspire program, then check out the link below in the description, or come to ayaloo.com and enter your name and email address in, join the waitlist, and you'll be given more information. And also, if you learned something from this video, even if you're not wanting to do any of the programs, if this video gave you something, then hit the bell icon and subscribe and share it with the friends, because you never know, that one message could change someone's life.